did not ask God, he asked him two questions. Definitive questions. Strategic questions. God, shall I pursue it? And will I overtake them? God said, pursue it. And surely you'll overtake them. But then he said, I got to throw you in something a little extra, David. Because at this point, David did not know that his wife and children were still alive. When the city got burned, normally everyone in the city was killed. David did not know that they had just taken his family captive. So he said, David, go ahead and pursue it. Go ahead and you'll win. But also you're going to recover everything that you lost. Now, I don't know what 2019 was for some people, but for some people it was a year of loss, of destruction. Things were taken, opportunities were missed, but God is trying to tell you that if you pursue it, you'll recover what you lost. See, some of you have been losing sleep. See, this ain't always about money. You see, next year might be your year to get back your sleep. It might be your year to get back your peace. It might be the year to get back your sanity, because 2019 has maybe caused you to think you would lose your mind after all the hell that you went through and the sleepless nights you went through. But God is saying, I will have you recover. The Bible says in the book of Joel that God will restore to you the years that the cankerworm and the locusts have eaten. If you know anything about the biological makeup and the way that locusts feed and they eat, is that they eat crops, Pastor, that are growing. They eat crops that are still growing.
Yes.
So they can clear an entire field before the farmer can harvest. And so the farmer actually did not know how much crop was lost. When we scroll to the 31st chapter of 1 Samuel, we see that David, when he got there, recovered not only his wives and his children, but the plunder that was in the land already. David not only got what was his, but he got his enemy's stuff. God is going to restore to you stuff you didn't even know you lost. Yeah, that's why he said he's going to restore to you the stuff that the locust has eaten. Because the locust ate stuff that was still growing. There were still business ideas that the devil tried to steal from you. There were still opportunities that the devil stole while they were growing. That there were provisions and relationships and opportunities and jobs and ideas and visions and destinies that the devil stole from you while it was still growing, while it was still seeds and while it was still in the harvest stage. But God said, I'm going to restore to you stuff that you didn't even know you lost. David not only recovered what he knew he lost, but then he got his enemy's stuff. I don't know if that's for everybody, but there's some people that have been hating on you this year, and God's about to not only give you your stuff, he's about to give you their stuff. There's been some people that tried to steal stuff from you, and God said, I'll restore to you what they stole and give you a bonus. I'll restore to you the job you thought you lost and give you a promotion. And so David, in ending, Pastor, I have to use an analogy for us to get this, because the word was surely. And so we find God's response to David being that surely you'll win. David took that same word in the 23rd Psalm and ended it like this: surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. I'll run it back one more time because you missed it. He said, surely you'll win. And David ended the 23rd Psalm and said, surely goodness and mercy are following me. Pastor, when you are driving, in order to get from point A to point B safely, you have to do what's called a mirror check. And you check your mirror. And in the mirror on the side, there's an inscription that says that objects may be closer than they appear. God's response to David was that surely he would win. David ended the 23rd Psalm and said, surely goodness and mercy are following me. When you're driving, in order to get from point A to point B safely, occasionally you have to do a mirror check. And in the mirror, there's an inscription that says that objects may be closer than they appear. You missed it one more time. David was going through the valley of the shadow of death. And when he did a mirror check, he thought that death and destruction would be behind him. But what he did, when he looked, he saw that goodness and mercy were tailgating him. I don't know who's going through strife. I don't know who's going through hell. But when you do a mirror check, you'll see that goodness and mercy are following. But it says in the mirror that the inscription says that goodness and mercy might be closer than they appear. Now, I don't know what you've been waiting on, but I need you to high-five your neighbor and say that what you've been waiting on is closer. Yeah, it's closer. You're closer to a breakthrough. You're closer to provision. You're closer to healing. You're closer to it. Go ahead and do a mirror check. What you thought you would see destruction. When you look back over 2019, you said, I thought I would see loss. I thought I would see destruction. But all I see is goodness and mercy. And that's why I don't want this mercy to be ahead of me. I don't want this mercy to be ahead of me. Because ahead of me might be strife. Ahead of me might be pain. But I look back over what I thought would have killed me. And I see that God put mercy and goodness so close behind me that I couldn't even see the mess that I went through. That's why Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they came out of the fiery furnace, they said, I don't even smell like what I've been through. Because when I look back on it, I realized that God was in the furnace with me. And if God before me, who can be against me? David was in a moment where he had to give himself a second opinion. And if you're struggling, I'm bringing this to a close. You're struggling finding out what a second opinion looks like. Look no further than Noah. Noah, when he was building the ark and the land was flooding and everyone was ridiculing Noah, Noah decided to build the ark anyway. He could have given up and listened to the crowd. But when the rain came, Noah's family was saved. That's a second opinion. When Abraham and his wife Sarah were barren, and Sarah was increasing in age, and God told Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. And medically, when we look at it, from the gynecologist said it's not possible. But then at the age of 90, Sarah had a child, second opinion. When we look at Joseph, when he was thrown into a pit, incarcerated, he was sold into slavery, and all of his brothers thought that he was dead, and then he ascended into the second in command and saved not only his brothers, but all of the land. That's his second opinion. When we find Moses, Pastor, at the Red Sea, trapped with the Israelites, and there was no way out, we find him now at a place where strategically, in terms of the military, the Department of Defense would have told Moses to surrender, for there's no way out. But then Moses decided to stick his staff in the water. That's a second opinion. When David faced Goliath, Saul had doubts. The Philistines, David decided to fight on anyway. That's a second opinion. When Hezekiah was about to die, he was on his deathbed. He asked God for 15 more years, and God stepped in and granted him 15 more years. Medically, that's not possible, but that's a second opinion. When Ezekiel was standing in the valley of dry bones, he realized that God asked him a question. He said, God, Ezekiel, can these bones live? And Ezekiel looked at him and said, God, you know. The archaeologists would have said no, but Ezekiel decided to trust the word of God, and the bones started to come back to life. That's a second opinion. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I'm just trying to work it all out. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego decided to go into the fiery furnace, everybody thought they would die. But then we find Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and a fourth man in the fire with them, and that's a second opinion. When Daniel decided to go down to the lion's den, King Nebuchadnezzar thought that it was over for Daniel. But then he came to the tomb, he came to the den the next morning and realized that Daniel was still singing there with the lions. That's a second opinion. When Esther decided to go down to the king's court, which would have for surely caused her death, Esther decided to go save her people. That's a second opinion. When Jesus came into the tomb of Lazarus, When Jesus came to the tomb of Lazarus, and they said, Lazarus has been dead too long to recover. Lazarus has been dead too long. It's too late, Jesus. Jesus said, Lazarus, get up. That's a second opinion. And there's one more story I have to tell you. That there was a man, Jesus, who was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane. And when he was arrested, the soldiers decided that they were going to crucify him, and they whipped him all night long. And they put nails in his hands and nails in his feet. And they crucified him on a cross, and they pierced his side. And everybody thought that it was over. And all day Friday, they thought it was over. All day Friday, they thought it was done. All day Friday, they said it was over. He was dead. And then Saturday came around, and while he was in the tomb, there was no hope. When he was in the tomb, the devil was dancing. But then early Sunday morning, there was a second opinion. And in your life, God is saying, I don't care what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what the experts have said. And I don't care what the opinion was. God has given you a second opinion. You might have missed out on it the first time. This might not have been your year. But God is saying, I don't care what the opinion was. He's about to give you a second opinion. Now, if you believe it's a second opinion, I'm going to need you to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, this is a second opinion. This is your year of a second opinion. This is your year of a second opinion. This is your year to pursue it. This is your year to chase it. This is your year to recover it. And here is your homework. Joshua, here is your homework. When you get home tonight, I'm going to need you to look in the mirror and say, self said, I'm going to need you to look at yourself. Self said, I'm going to need you to tell yourself, self, this is going to be our year to pursue and recover everything that we lost. And when yourself asks you, how do you know you're going to make it? When yourself begins to doubt, I'm going to need you to tell yourself, surely you will win. Surely you will recover. Surely we're going to win. Surely we're going to make it. Surely we'll get the healing. Surely we'll buy the house. Surely we're going to do it. If you believe that God is going to put a surely and a recovered and a pursue it in your life, I dare you to give Him praise. This is your year of a second opinion. This is your year to recover it. I know you thought you lost. I know you thought you couldn't make it, but this is your year for God to do something spectacular in your life. I know you faced the loss. I know you didn't think you could make it, but God is about to step into the domain of your life. There was a great fighter, Muhammad Ali. And he had one move he used to do. He used to get on the rope, he used to hug it. And he'd be taking punches left and right, uppercuts, and whatever else they do in boxing. I mean, he was on the rope and he would take it left and right, uppercuts, and whatever else they do in boxing. This move is called the rope. And just when his opponent would think he was done, just when the opponent and the refs thought it was over, Muhammad Ali would get back into the fight and knock out his opponent. Some of you have been doing a rope-a-dope in your life, and you've been taking left and right and uppercuts and whatever else the devil is trying to do in boxing. But God's about to step into the domain of your life, David. He's about to step into your situation. And when God steps in the situation, surely you'll win. Get you a second opinion. Surely you'll win. Surely you'll win. Surely you'll win. Thank you.